You're very welcome to the Salvation Show on our podcast here. And as I say, we love talking to people all over Dundalk and the surrounding areas and getting them in. Last time we had Tidy Towns, and then we had other bands in as well. It was a very, very famous band around Dundalk and around Ireland and further afield. And I'd like to welcome two of them. Orwells 84. Well, how are you, lads?
How's it going, Paddy?
Good.
How's things?
And you're Damien and
Seán.
Seán, Damien and Seán from Orwells 84. What a great band they are. Well, you've been playing now this while around the area.
Yeah, well, so we 2019, like, and we actually were doing loads of stuff, and then obviously COVID hit and put a halt to the whole thing. But we just finished. We did 10 shows last year as part of an Irish tour along, like, to get the album out there and all that. So that's probably where the well-known around Ireland bit comes from. I don't know how well known we are.
Oh, it is.
We
It's
went on
very
tour.
well known. A very well known band. Oh, where did the name come from? Orwells 84.
I was reading 1984 at the time, George Orwell, and that was it. And I just says, actually, no, do you know, it wasn't even that. It was like Animal Farm or one of the other ones he has. And I was reading.
That's a great movie, that. Oh, no, that's not.
Did they make a film out of it?
But yeah, that's where it was. I actually said it to David Keane one day. He says, that's a good name for a band, isn't it? He says, yeah.
Orwells.
He says, if you don't use it, he says, I will. So I said, right, well,
Yeah. How many members in it?
well, actually, currently at the minute, there's two. It's me and Seán.
Oh, well, you and Seán.
Well, there was. It's in a constant state of flux all the time. So there's like when we started, it was Mick Naray and Sam Eves on drums, John Mellon on bass, me and Seán. It was a girl called Ciara O'Neill.
She was on the keys.
She was on keys and violin, I think, wasn't it? And then it just changed. And then we'd Ella on cello, Ella Englishby. We had Zoe Backwell as well at one stage.
Yeah.
Pork and Pete came in, and now they're just working on other stuff. So they've kind of said, look, we're going to kind of take a step back for a minute. But that's just the way it is, and we're going to keep going now. If there's anyone out there who plays the drums, get in touch.
But I'm too busy.
We're like the nucleus, we say that.
Yeah.
Nucleus.
So you're going to go on with the two of you. Like, if you're doing a gig, it's just two of you.
Well, no, we'll probably try and get someone in on drums and but Mick is actually going to come back to record with us. So we're going to do an EP this year. Mick's going to come back to do the EP with us.
Yeah.
And probably John Mellon going to come back and record the bass for us. But gigging. We've only got 2 shows for the year so far anyway, so it's not even like it's a busy year. So,
but you've had very successful albums as well.
Yeah, they've done well. I'm pretty proud of them, you know.
Yeah, but what I love about it is, and people should realise this, and I've done 1 or 2 myself, there's a lot of money goes into getting an album set up. Serious amount of money.
It's surprising how much money it costs.
Yeah.
To make stuff like
that. But we went the full hog with them. We were like, let's get like PO behind it. Let's get like good videos done. Tim Shea with it, all our videos. Alvaro was in 2 of them.
I've seen it.
And now he's famous as well.
That's probably why there's only 2, isn't it?
Yeah. But just the money just seems to go all the time.
It's on, like, people don't realize that people think you go into a studio, you record your songs, it's on a CD and you sell it. But like, there's an awful lot of like mastering and mixing and it's costly.
Yeah.
But I love the way he's done the GoFundMe page.
Yeah, well, it was something we had to do because when we kind of worked out the cost and of everything to put out an album, and that was actually done on the cheap. Like, so if you talk to any other like artists of that around, like David Keane, for instance, or Jinx Lennon or any of that, like, they'll tell you like it's a very expensive game. And to be successful, I think these days, especially in the Irish music scene, is just to be self-sufficient, I think. Like, you can't be famous. You're not going to be a rock and roll star anymore these days. But if you can make a living off it and you're able to kind of keep going, that's success. Do you know
it is in your own mind. Maybe someday if someone can hear it and say, well, I like these.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And that's always the aim for everyone, you know. But like, even like bands, like, I mean, in the last 10 years, I think only, I'd say, one act from Ireland has really kind of pushed on. That was Fontaine's DC, I suppose.
Yeah.
Really, really pushed on. Just Mustard, just on their heels.
Yeah.
Elephant's done really well. But again, like, Elephant's 4 albums, whatever, masterpieces, all of them. And, you know.
You see, this is it. Now, do you feel now, I know that on Dundalk FM we always play independent Irish artists and all this. Do you feel that the mainstream is not giving enough to you?
We got RT recommended like on the playlist for them, and but yeah, that's very tough. Like, but it's a blessing then to have all the local radio stations, like, you know, all the ones that are like Dundalk FM or like Shannon side and all them places.
Near FM. There's a lot of them. I think there's about 32 community stations. Now the reason for community stations is to stop pirate stations.
Yeah.
But it's the difference between mainstream and community is that if a guy goes in, we say Today FM or LMFM, and he does the morning show, his music is put out for him. And the next show, the same music, the whole day. The best about community radio is you can go in with nothing. And if you decide, well, I'm going to play this.
It is actually the best. But I learned that about working there is like any music, it's not a recurrent playlist the whole day. Like, it's not for commercial reasons at all. It's
and that's the biggest problem, because like you've got, what is it, the 25% Irish play, and I think that's gone up now, isn't it? 30%.
I think we're 30%.
Yeah.
But
that means that 30% of the music, but it has to be Irish artists.
But or an Irish connection.
You know, but like, I mean, you straight away on your one show, you've got to say you're playing 10 songs, so 3 of them have to be Irish, and you could play Westlife, Tin Lizzy, and Aslan.
Well,
so straight away, like, you're not getting looking. You know what I mean?
When you're teaching people about radio, to think you have to pay 30% Irish, straight away it's diddly idle. But your show was very successful, giving artists the first cut show.
Well, that was something like that. It was David Keenan. He taken over from Tracy Hamby at the time. And then he blew up, and we were too busy. He was too busy for me then.
You know that I started that show.
You did, yeah.
It was in that when Dundalk FM, it was known as Dundalk Weekend Radio. When you start to take out a community radio, you're only allowed 31 days.
Okay.
So you put in for the license for 31 days. So what we done was 2 weeks, Saturday and Sunday for 15 weeks, just to get people to know. And I was asked that I want to do a show. I said, first cut. Everyone thought it was a gardening show. But
that would be a good.
That would be
and someone said, "Why first cut?" I said, "Well, your first cut, your first record."
Yeah.
And I remember playing a lot of people on it.
Yeah.
But at that time, people were sending them in on, like, there was no, you couldn't download from Spotify.
CDs and stuff like that.
CDs and and tapes.
Yeah.
You know, and there was some great stuff out there. And then I pulled away from it, of course, and Dennis Tracy done it.
Yeah.
Rick the roadie, what do you call him? Rick Brown, he done it.
Danny O'Hanlon did it with me.
Danny O'Hanlon
did it with me for
Shane done it as well.
It's been many incarnations. I love it. And
I'm only after putting together the connection. Damien Kenny.
McKenna.
That's who I seen on
See
the
that,
schedule
folks.
every day.
You think, folks,
I
they
didn't
know me. They have me in the show.
I didn't know that. I didn't know he
this
did the first
is the
cut.
face.
That voice.
That's
behind the voice.
I didn't know that was okay.
No, it's good, man. And do you know what? It's great to see, like, it's great to see Dundalk's music scene actually, like, it's and when you're at the forefront of it, it's amazing. Like the likes of Elephant's got a single coming out next week. Finian's doing great stuff. Osiris coming along. But there's other bands that are there that haven't got stuff recorded.
That's what the problem
Rowan
is.
Muffy. I think you
Rowan,
played, or Marissa played on one of the days. There's a whole raft of them coming from the Dundalk Youth Centre actually, and they're playing this emergence gigs with Mark Corcoran from Culture Club. And there's some amount. There's a band at the minute called Imbow. I don't know if you've heard.
I haven't heard.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Unbelievable.
But
they could be as big as Just Mustard if they get their act together.
Isn't it? But isn't it a sin that it's not? I know we give them all airplay and all that. That there is no place that they can say, well, a government. To go and say, right, you can record an EP. We'll sort it out. But
but the Dundalk Youth Centre has a great recording set up there. But like, again, like going back to like how hard because we played for grants, arts grants and stuff, like, and it's just nigh on impossible to get them. Like, there was a list of stuff. Do you remember we were looking at it? It was during COVID, and the government announced a whole. There was loads of like
They were going to
50 or
award
60,000,
artists
wasn't it?
grants to people.
And if you look through the list of who got it, it was like picture this got it.
Yeah, it was a lot of
Sinead O'Connor,
people
obviously.
who might not have.
Filling out
She's
those
gone,
art form grants is an art form in itself.
But I mean,
so
just
much
even to look
paperwork.
at the list, I was looking through it and I was like, picture this. What do they need money to record for? You know what I mean? They are making money out. Because even with their, even during
They have a
COVID.
label.
Yeah. But even during COVID,
I'm
their
pretty sure.
YouTubes or Spotify's, they wouldn't be making money off that. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, well, I'm going to bring you back. You probably won't remember it. And I remember I was in the house in Cox as a man. And there was a meeting held in the town hall with a load of us about starting a music centre in Dundalk for young bands. There was 50,000 punts worth of equipment bought.
right.
And then, you know the Carroll Village?
Yeah.
Where the flats are. Well, if you're on Church Street and you go in the gate, if you look up to your left on the top floor, we were in looking at it. They were going to change it into practice rooms and everything. And there was a book came out. You should read that book. It's brilliant. If you ever get your hands on it. It was taken out. Some fella done a survey on the bands in Dundalk.
Oh, yeah.
And there was 50,000 euro, or punts worth of equipment. There was drums, there was amps, bass amps, mixing desk, the whole lot.
Class.
And we were ready. I even said I give up the house in Cox's to be the supervisor on this, just to get young people in. And you know, when you're outside on Church Street, the road round to the Long Walk.
Yeah.
Well, the guy that owns Carroll Village built that road so they could get in the side.
Yeah.
And the council said, could you not go round with it? And we could get out that way. So they did. So they asked the council for money for that and they refused it. And that's why it never happened. The 50,000 punts is still lying in cellophane in the town hall.
No way.
Yeah, but it'd be all obsolete.
What's the name of the book?
The book, I don't know. But I know someone has it. I know that there's a woman put a story in it where she was a roadie for her sons. She'd throw all the gear in, leave the stuff out, and then she'd get a call. Now, there were no mobile phones, so you get a call on the phone. Mum, will you come and collect us now? You know, and then they'd be round talking. Yeah. But I remember the AOH hall.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I remember there was a big night on. That On Off was on it that night.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people in, but they'd no equipment. So we give them our equipment and set it up. And what a night. But do you know what it was? When everybody finished, when the bands finished, everybody just went home.
Yeah, yeah.
They didn't.
No messing around, yeah.
No messing around. And I actually, if you look into, I think at the time, there was a program on television, Pop Idol.
Oh, yeah.
Pop Idol.
And I wrote a thing to the Democrat about it, about that night, how people went home and all that. It was great. And I went from Pop Idol to Bone Idol, I said. You know, and you should read about those, but you're pushing so much for things. And it's great. It's a great opportunity, including yourself, Damien, to get something from someone.
Yeah.
And play it. And they're sitting at home. There was one incident. This is tourism sitting here. When I was doing first cut at the start, this woman rang me. She says, my son's of a band. I said, great. She says, they'd love to be heard on your show. And I said, yeah, send stuff in. So anyway, the woman rang about 2 hours later. And she says, look, they don't want to go in because they recorded it in the loft. Now, in Blaney, there's a studio called The Loft.
Okay.
I said, doesn't matter. It'll go for it. She says, no, in the loft.
Oh,
but it was one of them flatbed tape recorders. So the kick drum, you could hear more of that than anything else.
Yeah.
So I remember ringing Derek Turner. I said, Derek, could you help me out here? He told him the story. He says, yeah. So what he done was, he just gave them 3 hours in the studio.
Oh, in Tumbleweed.
In Tumbleweed and Bridge Street. And I put it out on the radio and I said that what we need is €100. We said at the time, €100. And we got that money within 20 minutes.
Class.
And the boys then recorded the song, done it. We put it out and it broke up.
Wow.
And they went on to be U2.
Oh, they went on to be Westlife. But they're the stories, you know.
Yeah.
And there's so much that kids can give.
Yeah, I mean, we kicked around in bands. Like you were in Siren Alley in different bands, and
Yeah,
I was in
always in different bands.
What do you play, Seán?
The guitar. And I played the bouzouki as well.
Oh,
It's
lovely.
Yeah.
Is that,
What's that?
No, that's the...
It's like a big mandolin.
That's the kazoo.
All right.
It's like a big mandolin. It's got 8 strings.
Yeah.
It's from Greece originally, I think.
Yeah, so it originally started...
The
but
movie.
But then like the...
Yeah.
But then
John Travolta played. That was just
in the
Danny plays. Danny
60s, when the
Zuko.
folk revival was happening, some of the artists like
Andy Irvine. brought it back.
they started
Yeah, he
to
played
use
it,
it.
yeah.
And that's how it kind of came into Irish music.
It's on,
But it's really nice.
It's prevalent on like Colleen.
Yeah, I
and,
see. I heard
She's
just
So
when you
Sweet.
mentioned that.
Yeah.
Border
It's
on the
more
Mistress.
prevalent on the... I suppose it's in the album too.
It's more an EP than it would be in the album.
Yeah.
And we've kind of drifted away from that now. We're more
But it's nice to have something else in there, isn't it?
Anytime
Yeah.
you whips it out, like sound engineers, like, why is
Crowd
there
goes,
desks around? We're like, what's that there? That's glass,
Yeah.
man. You know? And then I remember one night, there was this younger band were playing on the same, it wasn't our gig, we were playing on a showcase kind of thing. And someone was like, can you play Guns N' Roses or something like that? He was like, oh, fuck this, man. Do you know what I mean? So you get some stupid
I'm sure I could.
questions as well, but
I tried, you know.
Do you get wagon wheel? No.
no. Play one we all know.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
You're
I
at
get
the wrong
that regular.
fucking gig for that, lad.
I get that regular. Oh, Jesus.
But the bouzouki man's good. And there's a mandolin as well. You play a mandolin
And
and stuff,
mandolin
don't you?
and the banjo. That was my first instrument, was the banjo. I like all them instruments.
Yeah,
String
but
ones.
they're essential now. So even my favorite band, Eagles, they have mandolin and
Yeah.
banjo on it. You know, there's a lot in it. But
But there's a lot, like, there's that kind of, like, folk, like that trad folk stuff, like's coming back. Like Mary Walliper's, like, would be a good example of it. But
yeah.
Lancome as well. And
Lancome, yeah.
Yeah. There's fucking loads of them. There's loads, and they're all doing it now. And it's the same as, that's the one thing I will say that's probably not good, well, not good about the Irish music scene, but once one gets really big doing one sort of thing, then everyone follows suit.
Oh, it's
and then you have
yeah.
100. So like the minute in Dublin, there's 100 Fontaines, DCs walking around the place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's a...
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was always the same, you know, well, I remember when I played growing up in the early days, that if you went into a pub and there was a band playing and they got a great reaction to a song, you said, I'll do that
I'll
one.
take that one.
But you won't get the same reaction.
Yeah.
You know, it's always the same, but people copying and all this. But
And like, look, come here, like that happens in art. That's
Yeah.
just you're influenced by things, but
It's called being inspired.
yeah. But I heard a good story actually about when Damien Rice, when his album went massive. What was it called?
Oh.
Yeah. He went massive, and every A&R person from all the fucking labels came to Ireland, to Dublin, to look
Yeah.
for the next Damien Rice. And everyone was walking around with guitars. Like, everyone was walking around with
you
guitars.
see, yeah.
Singer,
But then you got like Mick Christopher, Paddy Casey, Declan O'Rourke. All these boys
Yeah.
started to come in because they were all being signed then by A&R men after that, you know.
Yeah.
It's just something like it always is the way in Ireland.
But I noticed lately that there is a serious amount of acoustic players
Yeah.
just on their own.
Yeah.
And some of them trying their own stuff, but when people go out for a night and they see, you know, they go in and go,
That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but there should be a special, you know, an open night.
Yeah.
Every week in Dundalk.
yeah, I think Toes is doing really well at that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Toes is flying.
They've got really good at, like,
Yeah.
And obviously, like, Derek Turner will forever champion Dundalk music, and local bands.
Yeah.
But yeah, people don't want to come and they want to hear Wagon Wheel or something. Do you know?
Yeah,
They do.
you know,
That's-
they do. That's
Yeah.
just
That's
the way
it,
it
like,
is.
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
It's
You
true.
know, you could have the best rock band in the world, and someone's going to go up and say, "Well, you play the Fields of Athenry."
Do you know what I mean?
For something like that.
You know, by Brush Shields.
Yeah, but I do it. But
But we on the tour there, actually, we started doing because the bass player died
From the Smiths.
from the Smiths, so we started
Yeah.
playing There's a Lady Never Go Out. Best fucking reaction of the night.
It is, you know, and
I think there's 2 years we spent fucking writing these songs, a year recording them,
yeah,
and then fucking Morrissey steals the spotlight.
I know it happens.
Yeah,
it's all
people just buzz off what they know, like when they hear the familiar chords and the
people
familiar
like
riffs and stuff.
People like comfort.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They do.
And when I do the Viper every Saturday night. Now I use tracks. I'm on my own, but I play with them.
Yeah, and
you get some fella. In fact, last night you do Thunderstruck. I thought, yeah, go on. You know, would you not like Wagon Wheel?
Yeah.
Or you might get someone that come up for a song, you know, at a wedding or something, and they get up and they say, Beyonce. You'll do it Blanket on the ground like everyone else.
Do you know the Eagles? No.
Oh yeah,
that's the one. You play that.
But the reaction to some of them songs of the young people.
Oh,
it's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, they know word for, and especially Garth Brooks, they know word for word.
I don't know what the obsession in Ireland is for fucking Garth Brooks.
Yeah.
I think he's a good
People just
artist. And you know what? Some live show.
Brilliant night.
5 nights in Crow Park.
Yeah, but
Did you go?
Did I fuck?
No. He never came to hear us.
Yeah. That was he when we were playing.
Yeah. But it's a, you know, it's a big stage presence. They can afford millions, and it's publicity for them.
Yeah. But even like the likes of, this is going to sound like I'm just bashing fucking people.
No, we're not.
But like Nate Carter and Mike Denver and them, and obviously they do well because people go to their gigs, but there's a serious obsession with Irish people and
at the moment
when it comes to, say, like Garth Brooks is playing, say, 5 nights in a row, or Ed Sheeran is playing these 3 nights, it becomes almost like a, you know, you have everyone in work saying, oh, did you get your ticket? And it's kind of infectious almost, isn't it? People, it's a cultural thing almost.
Here's
you have to be
there.
there.
Where do you think that obsession comes from?
Bruce Springsteen is another example. You know, when he plays, everybody's going.
Yeah, but I can understand Bruce Springsteen.
Because he's good.
Not Nate and Cardo. Nate and Cardo.
Yeah.
No.
Well, what's his one song? Wagon
Wheel.
Wagon Wheel.
And do you know that I was in Texas, my uncle was over in Texas, and he was going to the bank, and I was sitting in the car, and it's all country station.
Yeah.
And the 2 guys come on, and the original, the Black Crow Medicine Show recorded that, and it was Bob Dylan who wrote that song. Yeah. So he says, your man says, we got the Black Crow Medicine Show now. He says, some guy in Ireland, he says, made a big hit of this. But this is the original.
I mean, like, look, he's doing something right.
But
maybe we're the idiots.
No, what really, really puts me off is when someone comes along and records, like Nathan Carter done The Time of Your Life, Green Day, in a jive.
Oh, really?
No,
that and then he done The Boys of Summer by the Eagles. No good. But the worst that I ever heard, and I don't mind if it goes out, was Michael English doing a jive of Come On Eileen.
Jesus Christ.
And I just said, no, that's it.
Tapping it.
Where'd you hear that?
I've got a lad to play it on the radio. But anyway. But
it was on the first cut.
Yeah. That was the first after Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
But you know, that sort of thing. But now there is a lot of covers in it. What about all these tribute bands?
Yeah, I think there's a space for them, especially for. I have to say though, I think it should, and I think it's got to this stage now. It should only be bands that aren't coming back. Does that make sense?
That aren't
100%.
Yeah. Like I've seen a tribute band of the Eagles, and I'm like, them boys are playing. I saw one of Bruce Springsteen. And it's like, you can go see the real thing.
Yeah,
you know. But the likes of Queen, the Bowie one has been the Stars class.
Yeah,
Mac Fleetwood are supposed to be
pretty
unbelievable.
Good.
I've never seen them. It's supposed to be top draw.
And our own local Tennis Lizzie, they're pretty.
Tennis Lizzie,
excellent.
The Stone Roses had a great one. They used to play the Spiritual all the time. They were class.
I think Queen was in the Spiritual last night.
Was it?
QWE. Yeah.
But then I'll make the argument.
Right, go.
There's some bands, like again with concert prices and the way it's going.
Oh yeah,
that are so extortionate, and some cover like tribute bands that are playing are just as good.
Yeah,
and you're not being charged 150 quid a ticket to see them. Like
I know, but
some of the big US bands I'm talking.
Yeah,
some of them are extortionate money.
But as Damien said, I would be. I know that the illegal Eagles and Take It to the Limit and all that are very good, but to me, it's the real. You have to see the real.
See the real stuff, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to see the actual person
Yeah.
who wrote this song.
Of course.
Yeah. Now I have a guest on Thursday morning who's playing in Dundalk. He's a tribute to Brian Adams.
Oh.
So I said I'd interview him on Thursday morning.
Right.
And he says, I'll bring in the guitar, Summer 69.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of tributes out there. But when I'm playing him Saturday night, I say, good evening, this is a tribute to Paddy Mac.
It's a tribute to the Long Riders.
The Long Riders.
But it's the look, they have their space. The one thing I'd say though is like it kind of is starting to kind of monopolize like the venues like the Spirit Stores and places like this, like, and Whelan's. They have loads of them going on.
Yeah.
So like a lot of the venues in Dublin that you would have played before, like it's hard to even book now. It's hard to get booking anywhere.
Yeah.
To gig. Even,
Yeah.
You know?
But that's what I mean for guys like yourselves that are doing original stuff. Is this blocking you for getting in?
It would be, but you just have to kind of walk around them. Like Derek Turner would, Derek will tell you happily, you know, he says, look, Damien, he says, I'll put you on. He's making 150 in the door. Yeah. Or you might, or David Keane, you make 200 in the door. But I'm guaranteed, he says, if I put Mac Fleetwood in, he says, it'll sell out.
Yeah.
It's a good night's crack. Yeah. And that's it. Do you know? And he was saying to me, we played just before Christmas. Well, it was around Christmas time anyway. Oh no, it was in the summer actually, because he was saying, I'm already booking for January. Yeah. And he says, and it's all David Bowie's tributes, Queen tributes, all these tributes. And he says, because that's my bread and butter.
That's the bread and butter, yeah.
And he says, I'll sell all the tickets and they'll be all Christmas presents. And he says, after that, then once we kind of make that profit, then he doesn't matter after that what he does. And then he can start putting on the local bands and stuff. So they're in the culture.
The first preference.
They're intertwined into the industry.
As you say, it's the bread and butter for the place itself, you know.
Well, I think venues like us all got caught in the hop of COVID. I don't think they're going to let that happen again.
Oh,
you know,
it was very bad for musicians. Very, very bad for bands and that.
COVID,
it was shocking for us. We were on a trajectory.
Our EP had just come out.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just like Colleen,
really,
we just sold out Whelan's.
Selling out Whelan's.
Was getting the reviews. Yeah. That was December. It was December 2019. We sold out Whelan's, and then February. Then obviously COVID came, and that was out Wallop.
Yeah.
And that was the end of it. And then we'd start back again.
Unbelievable.
Start back from scratch.
I know, it's trying to get that momentum going again. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
to a point now where we're back trying to get just like literally calling
get a band.
People. But calling people and being like, come to the gig, will you?
Just you know, and where that sellout in Whelan's would have started you off. You know,
we were actually from that night. Dave Allen, who's the booker in Whelan's, him and another fella called Graham, they came to us and asked us to play Ones to Watch, which is their yearly showcase for like up and coming bands or whatever. So we were trying to play Ones to Watch, and then that set you on then to do like Irish Music Week and different things after that, and then you're playing Primavera, maybe South by Southwest in Texas. That's where it all started, you know. And we just didn't know, you know. But luckily we got
the EP came out. The songs were being played on like UK radio stations as well.
Yeah, we were
in
England, America, Canada. It was doing really well.
But that's what I mean. Like it's just not Dundalk, Ireland. It was further afield, because I remember reading something somewhere. I don't know whether you put it up, that it was being played in America, and this is what it's all about.
Yeah,
you know, if someone picks up on it. But as you say, unfortunately, it's all the funding and everything goes to people that are established. You know.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably seen like that's their career. You know, I'm blessed. Sean's blessed. Like we can work.
Yeah,
you know, Sean, you're a teacher.
It's also a guarantee from the funder's point of view, and a bit of publicity coming back to them again at the end of it all. Yeah, it shouldn't be that.
It's a safe bet for them.
Yeah. But you know who's really good, and I'll give them a shout out, because they funded us to do the documentary we did, the gig in Anton during lockdown, was the local office here. Loud Arts office. They're amazing. Maya Hodges. Shout out to Maya.
Maya is very, very good.
But and she does loads to promote.
Yeah.
Not just music, but local art and stuff.
But there was back in 1987, was a lot of musicians unemployed from jobs and that. And Constant Short started a CE scheme for musicians. It was just unbelievable. We were in the town. We used up 3 dressing rooms in the town hall. And you'll see photographs. There was Bobby Robson, myself, my brother Michael, Harry Harty, Gino Barrels, Lord Rest. And there was a load of us there.
Yeah.
And what we done was we had to create music.
Okay.
And then there was flute players, there was Irish players, bazookies, whatever you call it, the whole lot. And we done a show in the town hall, 50 pence in at the time, and it was for the schools. And at the time, the town hall held 730 before they put in the rake seating. And the curtains went up. Oh my God. Just a sea of people.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
And then what we had to do was that Desi Wilkinson, he was a flute player from the north, he introduced the traditional instrument, and I introduced the electric instrument.
Yeah.
And then a guy came down one time, there's loads of clippings of papers, Mick Hanley. Now Mick Hanley wrote Past the Point of Rescue.
Oh, okay.
He wrote a lot of songs, very, very talented man. And Mick Hanley was coming down with Keith O'Donnell. Keith is a sax player, but he works with youth and all this. And I remember standing in the Adelphi Ballroom. These are all very young on this. And Keith was a sax player with a band called the Real McCoy. And he looked so cool, you know, and the hair slicked back and all this. And then all of a sudden, I'm on the stage with him. But Mick Hanley said he'd do an appearance. And he sent down his tape. And we learned the tape, the whole lot. And it was such a fantastic night. All the young people seeing this.
Yeah.
And then you were given, at the time, 25 punts a day expenses. That was to get tapes and leads. And we ended up with a Yamaha drum machine and a 4-track recorder. And there was a famous song written by Harry Harty and Bobby Robson about Sellafield. And Katrina McDermott sang it. And we were there trying to publicise it. And this guy called down. He says, I want to give 1,000 punts to it. You know who that guy was? Mike Scott from the Waterboys.
Oh, yeah.
He paid towards it. And it was great things like that.
Unbelievable.
You know? But I think there should be something like that now.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I 100%.
Yeah. I mean, because you can always see, because the music thing will always, it'll never go away.
Never go away.
What I would hope, and I'm glad there is bands like Osiris and like Imbow and all these young acts coming through, that they are coming through, because if they weren't, like, you know, there was, for a while there doing the first cut, I was seeing a tail off of no bands coming.
You see, people, if you're producing something and you're not getting a reaction, it will, you know.
Ah, yeah.
Maybe nobody wants to hear me and all this. You get a lot of that, but you have to strive at something.
Well, we played gigs to 5 people, you know, and then we play gigs to 200 people.
You get a sitting ovation.
You know what I mean? Sitting on the hands. The barman down the hang, polishing the glasses.
Yeah.
Good number, that one.
And then you go, and he's going, you know. Oh, you get that.
Yeah. But you just have to keep going. And that's what we intend to do. And we always want to do. And we're going to do an EP now this year as well. So,
is that being funded by yourself?
No, well, we've actually put in for arts.
Brilliant.
So Maya,
hopefully Maya, if you're watching,
Maya,
these lads are very talented.
Well, she has funded us in the past to do the Untorn gig. I don't know if you saw that. It was a collection of identities and other nonsense.
Yeah,
and we did. It was actually during COVID. We were all interviewed separately, and it was really cool. If you're listening to this, I implore you to go and watch it. We started off in black and white.
Okay.
Close shots. Like, I did a bit of poetry at the start. It kind of comes out, and then we go into playing the music, and then it kind of is all cut between all the interviews and stuff. And we had an artist at the time called Yuli Larinkia. She did a performance art piece around us. Yeah, where she had she had us all caged off from each other.
All right.
Because obviously it was during lockdown, so we were trying to portray that.
Lockdown.
And as the gig's progressing, she's going around taking bits down and putting different things up, and then it ends up going into colour. and it ends then like with like 3 or 4 songs in colour, all of us kind of together.
Right.
It was an amazing piece. So Maya did fund that. So it'd be great for to come back.
It'd be great to see. So, but growing up, Damien, I know you're still growing up, but what would have been your influences musically?
Well, like I was around the time when Oasis were huge, so they would have been one. The Beatles,
of course,
Trinidad, the Eagles, Trinidad. But then a lot of like, as I kind of got older and got into the stuff myself, it was a lot of like Stone Roses, a lot of that kind of early. It wasn't Britpop, it wasn't Manchester, Happy Mondays, all that stuff. And then I kept going back and back. So it was like Bowie, the Waterboys, Planksty.
Yeah.
So a lot of that kind of folk stuff. I was really into that kind of stuff. So it was kind of a mix of all that.
Yeah, there was. Well, you were saying Planksty, like you've done Lunny playing the bouzouki as well.
But that's where we got it.
Yeah.
But you would have been. Did you listen to Planksty or was it?
Yeah. When I grew up, my mother only listened to trad and traditional music, like in the car every day, non-stop. She still does that.
You're a big fan of like, was it Dedanen and
Dedanen, Planksty, Bothy Band, Chieftains, all these kind of bands, you know. And then on the other hand, Dad liked rock music.
Yeah.
So the two came together.
So for the parodies, I asked Paddy and Alvaro this a couple of weeks ago. If you had to put 4 bands or artists on your Mount Rushmore, it doesn't mean they're your favorite. It's just what it represents. Who would your 4 be?
On Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, it can be a band or a single act.
For what they've achieved, or
who would you put up there?
Really tough
what you would like to see on Mount Rushmore
for music?
Well, for me, the first one definitely has to be the Beatles. Just for what they did in the 60s. They wrote the handbook of what it is to be the band. Okay. You know what I mean? They wrote the handbook of that everyone follows. And they pushed the recording techniques, they pushed everything else. Did they get it right all the time? Probably not. Right. Their solo stuff, so a lot of it's shocking. You know, but they'd have to be up there for me.
I'm trying to think. It's a tough question.
Yeah, I'd say actually Planksty as well for what they did to revive folk music in Ireland.
Yeah.
Because before that, everyone would have thought Irish trad and folk music is a lot of the diddly-eye stuff.
It would have been, what do you call them? Oh, there's a name on a few of them. They're still on, like you had the Dubliners and all that.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about Planksty, they went on to Moving Hearts, which was a sort of a combination between the two. Yeah. It was excellent stuff, you know.
Yeah, they like, again, pushed the boundaries of what like folk music was. I'd probably have to say Bowie. Just Bowie, again, for longevity, for what he created.
Would you go for the Bowie or the Ziggy Stardust?
Oh.
There's so many Bowies to choose from.
I know. I like what's that album with changes and all that? What's that? Hunky Dory.
Hunky Dory.
That's a great album.
Yeah.
Well, but now I would have grown up in the 70s with Ziggy Stardust, David Bowie, and Starman and Life on Mars. And all. Fantastic. But when he changed, I didn't like it.
Oh no. When he went into the
Thin White Duke.
The suits and everything. But I just said no, he should have stayed. But he announced it on stage when he was finished.
Yeah, he died, wasn't it? He announced the death of Ziggy Stardust.
All right. He's gone. Yeah. He finished. He'll be in the Viper room every Saturday.
Paddy McDonough, the paint on him.
Yeah.
But I don't know who else. Yeah, so Beatles, Bobby Bowie, Planksty. And I'm going to go left field and I'm going to say
Madonna.
RZA from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay.
Again.
Is that not a rat? Oh, that's Rizzo.
That's Rizzo.
Rizla. Green.
Rizzo. What about you, John?
On the Mount Rushmore.
On the Mount Rushmore.
I like.
You remember your mother's voice.
I really like Prince. Yeah.
It's Prince. The party bands in there.
Prince, right?
Yeah, he's Prince.
Good. I'd put someone cool. Paul Brady. Put him up there.
Oh, very good. Yeah, very good.
In the house. Yeah.
You still have two more.
Zion Mills.
You still have two more.
For the Mount Rushmore, I'll put Phil Lennon on it.
Oh,
I really
yeah,
like Phil
yeah.
Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
See, I didn't
cool.
even think close to home. Like,
Yeah, Phil Lennon.
can I
Yeah.
change mine? No.
No,
I don't want him sticking. I'm sticking.
He's still
You
chipping
can choose
away.
my last one then.
Yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I put Damien McKenna on.
Yeah, definitely. Orwells 84.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah,
end.
there you go.
Jinx Lennon. David
Jinx
Keenan.
Lennon, yeah.
So
Do you know
what-
what? Actually, Jinx
has to be
Lennon
there
is
with like the
Jinx.
hat, you
Yeah.
know, like on,
Oh, yeah. And the
Dunce
dance.
and the Free Nova.
and the free
Free
note.
Nova.
Free Nova, yeah.
Jinx Lennon is a genius.
Yeah,
Like, he is a fucking. And do you know what? Sometimes you listen to him and you're like, Jinx, what are you talking about? Like,
Yeah.
but then other times it's just like really good stuff. I love Jinx.
yeah.
We had Jinx on the podcast, and he was, I think it was the first song, wasn't it? He said, yeah, this is a new one. He started, no, I won't play that. I'll play this one. Straight
He does
in.
what he wants.
He
Yeah.
he did a show, and Sophie Kyle, his wife, was on the same
Yeah.
show, and we were on the show, and Sophie played. Then she had to run off and come and mind the children, and then Jinx had to come down and
Yeah.
play. But he arrived in with a keyboard. We had to help him on stage. No sound check, and he just starts, yeah, man, come on, I'm not hearing that in the wedge, man. Come on, man. He was sound checking as he was playing the song,
Yeah.
and then broke into the Dundalk walk or something. But it was just. He's class. Some of his stuff.
He's a
You can say
poet.
whatever you want. He is
poet.
original.
He'd be known
That's
as a
original.
poet.
Yeah, well, they call him
You
the
know.
punk poet, isn't it?
Yeah, the punk poet, yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
I've never seen. Still, I haven't seen anything like him. He is like
Yeah.
the most original.
And some people don't get it. But again, talk about internationally known and nationally.
Yeah.
Like, and people come
Yeah.
to see him
Yeah.
no matter where he plays. People come and see him, you know.
Yeah.
So what about your songwriting? Do you do it as a collaboration, or do you write them on your own?
Yeah, me and Seán tend to get at least the bones of stuff down. Or I'll have something and I'll bring it to him, or Seán will have a riff and
I'll have a
we'll
riff.
come to
Yeah.
me, and generally that's where it kind of starts from. And then in the past we would have brought it to definitely to Pete and Pork, who were the drummer and bass player.
They're really good at like arranging.
They're very, very good at arranging. Yeah, that's their forte.
It's don't do it like this. Like,
Yeah,
take
it's a
this
great
bar in, put that
melt
there.
there, isn't it?
Yeah, and they, their stuff, Arco Arena, that's their other band.
Is it?
Go check them out. They're class, Arco Arena.
Yeah.
But they are very good at saying, yeah, don't do that, cut that in half, maybe do this, put that piece here. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
really kind of
very, it's very easy when you're writing a song to say, oh yeah, this is really good. And then you end up recording it and it's like 7 minutes long.
Yeah.
But they're
Yeah.
really good at like chop that down to 3 minutes for the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
You
very good. So that would have been kind of like, well, that's kind of how it comes together, you know. There's no great secrets around it. There never is anyway. These things.
You're seeing Lennon and McCartney. I was watching a documentary the other night, and someone just said the word, she loves you.
Yeah.
And straight out, just
Have you
right-
seen the Let It Be documentary?
Yeah. Excellent.
And there's a great bit.
Hold on, we're getting background noise here. What's that?
Yeah, don't
I
know.
wonder.
I don't
There's a
know.
great bit. Maybe she knows about the Beatles.
My God.
There's a great bit in it where they're sitting there literally going, blah, 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 and
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
literally just jamming it out, and you're just sitting watching it going, these lads are like
Yeah.
the best songwriters of all time. Maybe it's definitely two of them in the room.
Yeah.
And they're the slobber they're coming out with.
Yeah,
But it's all about their process
it's
of getting
all-
to.
and people
need to
don't
go.
realize, it's actually George Harrison's birthday today.
Is
Well,
it?
it would have
Is
been
it?
if he was alive. But people don't realize of the other things they wrote for other people.
Yeah.
Like Marmalade, Obladi,
Yeah.
that was one.
I think they wrote the Rolling Stones' first hit as well.
Yeah.
Really,
I don't know what it was, but they wrote it for
It's,
them.
And
they recorded with Ringo
Yeah.
afterward.
What is the famous saying about Ringo when John Lennon was asked, is Ringo a good drummer? He said, well, he's the best drummer in the band.
There's
But McCartney was a better drummer.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
plays drums on Ballad of John Yoko. He plays
Yeah.
drums on a few of the tracks actually.
George is always my favorite Beatle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No,
Yeah.
that's
The
kind
solo
of
stuff.
cool
That
answer, but
that song,
All
that
Things
song,
Must
My
Pass.
Guitar Gently Weeps.
Oh, yeah,
Unbelievable
see that
song.
My Sweet Lord. That's a
Yeah.
good song.
Yeah.
That
That's
whole
a
album
really good song. Yeah.
is class.
Yeah, and
for
then-
four, it's in vinyl. It's
Yeah.
4 vinyls.
Really?
He done that for the Harry Kushner, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Jesus Christ.
he says the other one he wrote that I thought was
The level of awareness just between some people is amazing.
oh, it's unbelievable.
It's amazing.
With the walkthrough on GE, but the one that he wrote that I thought was fantastic, something,
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and the chord sequence in it, it's just unbelievable, classic stuff. But
But then speaking of the going back to covers, the amount of people that have covered their work, like Elvis.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or even there's that great video with Prince doing My Guitar Gently Weeps with
Just the guitar solo and stuff.
Yeah, it's
Oh, he's on stage with
he's on
There's a
stage
few
with
people on stage. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
with Jeff
Beck.
Lynn.
Jeff Lynn.
That's it.
There's a producer. That's the boy.
I have to tell you, me smoke machine's broke. Have you heard the album, Jeff Lynne's album, The Long Wave?
No.
Oh my
Check
God.
it out, yeah.
You have to, because the reason to check it out is it's 27 minutes long of an album.
The long wave.
The Long Wave is
Right.
called. And what he does was, now I seen a documentary on Jeff one night. He's in his house in LA. Every room has something in it. Instrument.
Like an instrument, yeah. What's on?
Yeah. In his kitchen, there's a mic hanging down, there's an acoustic guitar. And everything is the foot pedal. When he clicks, the studio goes on. and he
Oh,
records.
just to get the ideas and stuff down.
Yeah.
Class.
So what he done was he picked the songs that he liked. Like,
Yeah.
you know that Somewhere Beyond the Sea?
Oh yeah.
Those, and
Bobby
he
Darin.
done Running Scared Roy Orbison. He does a fantastic version of Nat King Cole's Smile.
Okay.
But every instrument, every vocals, harmonies, and he does it all himself.
He's class.
Oh, what
He actually gets slated for the Beatles stuff. I don't know if do you know they did Freeze a Bird and
yeah.
Real Love and all that kind of stuff
yeah.
they've done afterward. He produced that. It wasn't George Martin, and he gets slated for it because people saying that George
he
Martin's a
was
better
just-
producer and stuff. But
He
he's
was very,
just class.
very talented man in
Yeah.
every way. His original band he started with was with The Move in the 60s, which
Yeah.
was Roy Wood and all them. And he just went on his own. And sure, he was the first to introduce cello. And
But that was a
violin.
big influence on us.
Yeah.
And covers. We actually attempted to cover Mr. Blue Sky
Yeah.
and failed miserably because
All right.
it's
And,
fucking...
Why did that, Phil? I can't remember.
because it was... We never knew where we were going. Is it verse next? Is it that? Is it the bridge bit? Is it the other bit? And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck,
Yeah.
forget about it.
Now there's an end of that song.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun,
No, you have it stops, and then it must be the tune. It moves up and down, but he says something. You know what he says? No.
No.
I do.
What is it?
Please turn me over.
Yeah, because
Oh.
it was on the album.
Oh, class.
Please turn me over.
Well,
He
actually,
just happens to say
we
it.
were influenced by that as well. There's a song on the album.
And you said, "Please turn me over."
Yeah, please turn it off.
Please turn this off.
The song on the album, it's called "How Does It Feel." It actually started off as Sean's song. You wrote the riff and all that for him.
Yeah.
But when we were playing it, we came up then, and then we come up with the idea of doing the stop and going into something else, and
Oh,
that
yeah.
created a track we called Amok, which is obviously Irish for out.
Uh-huh.
So we introduced the album with a shock as well.
Ah,
We thought that would
yeah.
be funny.
Very smart.
Very good.
Bookend it, yeah. And in the intro of the album, we got Pete. It's us warming up. So it's like, you
Yeah.
ready to go? Yeah, right. But you hear Pete noodling, and he plays the riff from Amok in a shock, and it's just like a wee small bit of it introduces it, and then you don't hear it until the end
But there's a
because
lot.
we're geniuses.
A lot on
We
the
Easter
Be-
eggs.
The
Yeah.
Beatles did that, and the Beach Boys.
Yeah,
In the background, it's you're ready, and the countdown.
with Brian Wilson.
Yeah,
would
Brian.
be another
Oh, I see.
influence.
He now is in the early stages of Alzheimer's.
Ah, Jesus.
I
That's sad.
just seen the report. Genius.
Did you
But-
ever see the Beach Boys movies about him, Love and Mercy?
No.
No.
Oh, it's a great movie, but it's about him when he's first starting with the Beach Boys,
Yeah.
and then him when he's older.
Is it an actual movie or a documentary?
No, it's a proper
right.
movie, but it's
Yeah.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like a genuinely good movie. Never mind the music.
But I know that
Love and Mercy.
Love and Mercy,
Now they
yeah.
were fantastic. They were all cousins and everything. And the father, Wilson himself, he was always coming into the studios and saying, no, that's not right, and pulling down. And was destroying everything. So the boys built a false desk that went over.
Oh, yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard that.
And he came
That's
in.
brilliant.
That's great. And they didn't want, because they were afraid of the life of him, and he turned it. That's better. That'll sell albums.
I don't know much about like what they were talking about technically, but Elton John gave an interview once where he was talking about his influence, like Brian Wilson's influence on him.
Yeah.
And he was saying what he was doing with the piano, with the chord. I don't know the technical terms, but he said what he was doing blew Elton John's mind when he was starting to learn music. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah. There's footage of them recording Pet Sounds, of him recording Pet Sounds. It was just him.
Yeah.
That's what the movie's about.
And
Recording of Pet Sounds.
And I'd love to see all that footage just because he's in there. He's got the Wrecking Crew, which is that famous band from LA, like the session bands and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's telling them, like, you know, a little lighter on the snare. Don't kick in on the on the bass until this, you know. Speaking of good movies, you just reminded me of something. There's a great Bee Gees documentary called How Can I Mend a Broken Heart?
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Have
you seen it?
No.
Watch it.
They're unbelievable as well, you know.
Writing songs for
Bee Gees are really good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, hits.
They've wrote like 40
Hit machines.
30 hits, I think, for other people.
They wrote that song. Why do you have to be a heartbreaker?
Yeah.
That was them.
Yeah, that was
unbelievable stuff.
You Can't Hurry Love.
Yeah.
Did they write that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And they wrote
ones for Celine Dion and everything like this.
Yeah, done that. What do you call it?
Just keep coming.
Yeah.
Is it Immoral or something like that? They sang it, but there was a part in it where, you know, that song they done, Tragedy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And at the time there was no, like nowadays you can hit a sound effect. There was no sound effect. And your man said, I need something coming in there. So your man Barry Gig went over, held his hands like this and shouted into it. Just a big
for the pop.
Just a pop.
There was a great story. Chris Tucker, the comedian, like he used to be great friends with Michael Jackson. But he was saying about the time that he was invited over to Michael Jackson's house and Barry Gibb was there. And then out of nowhere, Michael Jackson and Barry Gibb just started singing How Deep Is Your Love. And he said, fucking unbelievable.
Yeah,
he just couldn't, to hear them both harmonise and sing that song. He said it was incredible. And then he made a joke. He was like, he tried to join in. They basically told him, shut up. Just stop.
There's a great, I played on the radio, there's a great video of Keith Urban. It's a tribute to the Bee Gees. Of course, there's only one of them left. And Keith Urban comes on, just guitar and the band behind him. And he does To Love Somebody. Oh my God, what a version of it. Even your man, Barry Gibb, is looking as if to say, my God.
Yeah.
Now, he must have been saying, I wrote that.
Yeah.
You know.
But I mean, to be able to sit back and look at a career like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how would you feel? I know it's maybe it might happen if you were sitting and someone decided to record one of your songs. How would you feel about that?
Oh, delighted. Chuffed.
Angry. No, I wouldn't feel angry.
How dare they?
Angry because they're singing about it.
If they did a bad job, I'd be angry.
You'd have to be.
No, you'd be happy because
you'd have to.
Yeah.
I mean,
they felt it was good enough.
Yeah.
Maybe they think it's bad and they want to do it better. I don't know.
But beyond like getting the people to the gigs and all that, for me, it's always about like, I always like when other musicians come up and say, that's a good
like
song.
that, yeah.
And you're like, oh, cheers, thanks very much. You know what I mean? Like we do, like when we got the reviews for the Crucible, like if I could, if they were printed, nothing's printed these days on paper, but I'd have them framed. You know, they were so nice to read. Some of them.
It is, but how do you feel when some of your regulars come in and sing along with the words in it?
That's class.
Isn't that brilliant?
Yeah,
yeah.
We actually played a gig in Dublin somewhere, and loads of like people that we knew, a lot of Seán's friends as well came in, and then there was a bit in Colleen, one of the songs where it gets, and there's a female vocal that Ella sang it, and just when she went to kick in, all the girls in the front row started singing the back, and it was the first time it ever happened for me ever.
Isn't it brilliant?
And they're just like, I wrote that, man, that's class. You know what
but isn't it, that's what I mean, isn't it? The feeling that you're looking down. And because I was at, we were talking to Osiris one night in the Spurs store, and we had them on here as well, and went down, and when they started doing songs,
okay,
when they started doing songs, you know, and you see the young people singing back, it's amazing, you know, it's brilliant. But my problem is that when you see people singing along to me, the right words.
You're going, that's not the words.
Well, Where did you learn that?
Yeah.
I know there's something to be said about the live shows, like, and I think that's when I'd probably say I call it time is when I'm not enjoying the live stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Because you can record and you can do all that. And actually, we're going to do another side piece. Myself and Seán and a few other musicians coming in to do it. We won't record it live. We won't play it live.
We're just going to record it.
So it'll be interesting to see how we feel about that.
Yeah,
because there's a different vibe.
You're going to record it live.
No, we're going to record it, but we're not going to play it live.
You're going to
we will never perform it.
You're going to do it West live.
Yeah, when the key change happens, we'll all stand up from the seats.
That's the big thing, isn't it? Everybody stands up.
But I'll be interested to see how I feel about them songs, because you fall in love with songs when you play them live and you see reactions and stuff, and you fall in love with them again and again.
Would you sit at home and listen? Just to be your own critic.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
So much so to the point now where I don't even listen to it anymore because I'm actually sick of it.
Yeah, you do.
And that's not even a joke. Like it's genuinely, like, I don't know how you feel about it, but it's like I can't listen to the album anymore.
Yeah.
And part of me gets bored that I need to move on, and Seán's the same. We need to move on to something else. We're always looking at writing more stuff, and
because by the time the album's ready, you've listened to it so much that you know it inside out, every second.
You'd know yourself, like, it's
you want
like,
to listen to something else.
It's mixed. You have to have a listen. Then it's remixed. You have another listen.
Yeah,
it could be 4 or 5 mixes, and then you're hearing this, and then to the point where you're numb. I think you just say that mix is grand.
Yeah,
then you have to get it mastered.
Yeah,
and then it's the same again, and you listen to it again. It's a master.
Sure, load of artists, they'll listen to it they'll listen to it in the car to see what it sounds like. Then they'll go through the phone, then headphones, and every way people consume it just to try and get it right.
Wax cylinders.
Yeah.
But you even have to listen to it now. You have to listen to it, say, on Spotify, because sometimes it compresses it so much that you might need to bring the levels of it up and stuff like that. And because we released it on vinyl, we had to listen to test pressings of that as well.
Jesus.
So it was overkill at the end, And then you're trying to get, obviously, the track listings and stuff. So you're trying to listen to songs out of place and, get them. And it's just...
Yeah.
So no, I don't listen to it anymore. If it comes on Spotify, I leave it play.
Yeah. It's, well, as you say, I've been listening to a couple of albums. We done an album for charity, and we took friends in. And there's some of the songs that I go, ooh, yeah, I should have missed that there. But there is that when you were saying copying, when we were talking about the end of ELO, Cher, when she done Believe, her voice was out of tune. And if you play it and you move the tuner up, it gives that sound. And she goes, oh, what's that? And your man says, I was just putting you in tune.
Yeah.
And she says, oh, that's nice. Everybody has then done it.
Yeah.
Everybody has the fucking thing.
And you can still hear it now today. Like, she's influenced everyone.
Yeah. There's a lot of bands from... Who? Florida.
No, what did you say? Florida. Florida. Auto-tune mad.
Oh.
He's auto.
T-Pain.
Yeah, T-Pain. Yeah.
It's actually, that's the big thing at the minute. I remember saying to you, like, once one act does it, everyone else will start.
Everyone does.
But if you walk up Grafton Street, like, there's all the teenagers there, and they all have they all sing the same way, the same kind of.
They all sound like Dermot Kennedy.
I can't even put my face on it, but I'd be walking through with my partner Sinead, and I'll hear them and I go, there they're at it again. Yeah. She'd be like, well, just leave them alone.
But then again, no. I always thought the same.
Last orders.
Yeah, I always thought the same. But if you look back at the 60s music, not the 70s, the 60s, most of the bands are playing all the same.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I think it's just the way it was. But you're right. When you walk up, you've Ed Sheeran. Yeah. You have someone else, all sounding the same.
Yeah.
But that's what I can't understand of young musicians nowadays. Use your own. It's your voice that will get it. It's not trying to copy.
Yeah.
You know,
take the influences and put them in it and wear them on your sleeve.
Use a bit of phrasing here and there, but don't make the whole fucking album.
No.
Ed Sheeran.
You used to say, like, it was like we're like magpies.
Yeah.
You know, pick the best bit.
Pick the best bit and take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob everything.
Right. Just rob enough that no one can come back to you and see.
This is it, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
Will we wrap it up before this whole
I think
place
we
opens
but
up?
I'm enjoying it because
I know.
I'm enjoying it as well. Yeah.
I've just entered my flow state, you know. Like,
Flow rider.
We'll have to do a part 2.
I was the
Oh,
first,
definitely with the
Yeah.
water.
the first audience we had as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it'd be like a
podcast.
trilogy, you know.
Yeah.
But
Chronicles.
what is the future
Part
hold
3,
for Orwells?
Resurrection.
Yeah.
Orwell or you too?
We're going to do the EP. It's going to come out. We're playing the Workman's Cellar in June, and then we're back in the Spirit Store in September, September. It's not announced yet. But
Is that the full band? Well,
it'll be a full band, yeah.
Yeah.
The gig in September, I'd say we'll probably have a couple of good local artists, like Finian maybe and stuff like that. So we look at stuff. They're shooting at us. So yeah, that's the plan for this year.
Awareness.
And obviously just to keep trying to build an audience, you know. We're actually going to starting to work with Suzanne Doyle. She was at the
listen, never buy them cheap condoms. Because you know they're saying one prick and they're gone.
oh stuff. But yeah,
Not about it.
but that's the plan anyway. And just keep her lit, keep going. You know, try and make as many albums as Jinx has.
Yes.
Right. And will you sell a bunch of gigs anyway? No?
Yeah. Well, I think the next one though, I think the EP we're probably going to do it digitally. It just costs too much. Like vinyl pressing costs too much.
I think that the not apart from the vinyl and the pressing, it's the mastering is the dearest part.
Yeah, it's
Unbelievable.
to rent a studio now is really expensive. Like Black Mountain is probably a great studio and it's actually reasonably priced. It's right on our doorstep. So if you ever get a chance to record a live podcast or to record yourself, Black Mountain.
Where is that?
Out in Jenkinson.
And Cooley, yeah.
Yeah, there's one out in County for the shop. Jason
Varley does it as well, yeah.
Yeah, it's doing very well.
Was he on a boat? Was it on a boat for a bit? No, or was it dreaming that?
I think that was Radio Caroline.
Yeah.
No, the one he has was
He recorded in international
his
waters.
mum used to have a shop and he called it the shop studio.
Okay.
A lot of great albums come out of it.
Yeah.
But the best the studio that I was in was Jason's old place.
In Tumbleweed.
No, it was on the Carlingford Road. The studio was in a cow shed. So the studio was built inside the cow shed.
Class.
See the whole lot covered.
Wow.
It was brilliant studio. And he's this massive desk, but he wasn't using. He was using Pro Tools.
He's unbelievable. He's a whiz.
He knows an awful lot about it.
Speaking of good albums, though, that Black Mountain has got two albums recorded that are on Choice Prize Awards. Soda Blondes,
really?
yeah, Soda Blondes.
Soda Blonde,
and, The Scratch, maybe.
Okay.
Recorded up in black, so I don't think they'll win it, but a nice thing. Soda Blonde might win it. They're good.
It'd be nice,
That's a
nice
good
to know
name for
you're
a
in,
band.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Soda Blonde.
Soda Blonde. Have you listened to them?
No, this is my first time. hearing it. It's a
Where are
good
they,
name.
where are they from?
Dublin and Sligo. I
And
think,
the
or
Scratch
something
is
like
also
that,
a good name.
yeah. Have you listened to Scratch?
No, but another good
Oh,
name.
you'd love the Scratch.
Would I?
Yeah.
I love the
Soda
Scratch.
Blonde gets played a
Sounds
lot.
when you
Dundalk
behave.
FM.
Soda Blonde are excellent. Their album
Where
is
are they
class.
from?
It's the Scratch.
Soda Blonde.
Dublin and somewhere.
Dublin and
Irish,
Sligo.
Yeah, I think.
Sligo.
Yeah.
They're very good.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, you're taking your time this morning for coming in.
Yeah, thank
and
you
I'm
very
sure
much.
we look
Yes, thank
forward,
you.
as I say, look forward to playing your stuff on the radio before you play it.
Well, it has to be the first cut with me first. You know?
Oh, it has to be the first cut. And on the independent Irish artists in the morning.
Yeah.
But it's great to be able to do that. Now, there is, people say, why don't you just stick to the indie bands and all that? But you have to give everyone a chance.
Yeah.
You know, there's some people out there who have taken time to record it. Why not?
Give them a go, yeah.
And you know what it is about it as well? I remember we done an album a few years back. It was The Plight of Kosovo. We all decided we weren't going to run a night and send the money to Kosovo. We'd take over the studio, pay for our own things and do the album. So we done it. And every track on it, you could play on every show on a radio. This is before Dundalk FM. And I left it up to a well-known station and not one song was played. So I just said, someday, I said, they will get played. And then Dundalk FM came along. And it's still being played today.
Yeah.
You know, like you've probably seen a photograph up on Facebook of myself, Gino, and Ofla, and Helen Mirren and that. We were the band in Some Other Son. We were the band playing in the pub. And this guy came up to us and he says, my brother wrote this song. Will you just learn it? I had to go upstairs. It was in Ruskin Lusk. I had to go upstairs and learn the song. I had 25 minutes to learn it, the words, and I got it in my head. Came down, the sound engineer says, do you know what? I said, yeah. He said, I'll record you and you can mime it. So we went down and we done it. And we put it out on a single.
That's unbelievable.
I was sold in the north more than I was.
Well, it was Some Other Son.
That was Some Other Son, but it was great, a great experience.
Oh, that's class.
But it was great things like that happen, But and it's even, meeting stars like yourselves and all that. It is. No, honestly, you have a talent, and I think it's a shame that a lot of people, that when you see a gig, go to it.
Yeah.
See it. Buy the merchandise,
If there's anyone, if it's people are recording, go to their gigs. Like, that's how bands survive these days.
Yeah.
Gigs and Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Buy a t-shirt.
Bandcamp, yeah.
A lot of people think that when you see you on the stage, they don't realize the setup, the recordings, the setting up the gear.
Yeah.
And when everybody's gone and they're having a great time, they're taking it down and God, what a day I had today.
But we did that. Like, that's a good example of it. Like, so that just goes to show you, we be in a venue from 5 o'clock to sound check.
Yeah.
Once we've sound checked in and the doors open, one of us is at the merch stand selling the merch. Then we have to tidy up the merch, go on the stage, play it, come back off, set the merch back up, play again, and then set down, and then drive back.
Yeah,
it's a labor of love. You have to love doing it.
You have to love it.
It is. I think it is. It's, you see, you provide, it's like someone had said to me, now I was late last night. I have to play tonight, but it's an easy night. But when someone sees you then on the stage, you'll be yawning and everything before it. And it's just the adrenaline that comes into it. And then after that, you're fucked.
Yeah.
But,
But you do need a wind down as well. You can't turn off either.
You can't, and especially if it's a good gig. Jesus,
the buzz is going.
You want to do it again. But you're not
invincible.
But you want to do it again. Well, listen, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you very much for calling into us, and the best of luck with the EP. I'm sure it'll be dropped into the station.
It will certainly be,
and hopefully we'll get a chance to see us.
Yeah, we'll be back on again. Let's.
We'll go. I have to go for part 2,
volume 2.
Volume 2. There's a lot, and I'm sure that Chris will play a bit of Orwells 84 along the way.
I will.
There's a video there. We might even put Alvaro in it.
Yeah, we'll have Alvaro here next time.
Yeah,
just put the video on of him walking around the place in the background.
Lost.
Actually, we'll do a walking podcast next time. I'll follow you around the town.
With Alvaro.
Yeah, with Alvaro.
With Alvaro. You ready? Go.
Yeah.
All right.
Listen, lads.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
So much.
Thank you.
Lads.
Have a good one.